Okay, this is going to be a unbiased review on, jeez, I bought this thing, I don't know. Well, anyway, it's a Dean Far Beyond Driven guitar, the Dimebag Darrell signature or replica, whatever you want to call it. Now, this is going to be an unbiased review. Bought this guitar, geez, say 9 years ago, and yeah, it hasn't really been a bad guitar, but we'll talk about this later. But for a guitar or a guitar company that calls itself or claims to be the world's finest guitars, think again. Okay, so let's start from the start. So like I said, I bought this guitar, let's say about 9 years ago, for the price of, say, $2,000. Okay, so when I got it home from the guitar shop, anyone who's ever played a Floyd Rose would know that a Floyd Rose should sit pretty parallel to the body. When I got this guitar, the bridge was sitting up like this. And I mentioned this to the guy at the shop where I bought the guitar. No, set it up myself, that's how it's supposed to be. Fucking bullshit. Okay, so if we turn the guitar over. Now, anyone who's ever played a guitar with a Floyd Rose knows that you have generally 3 springs on the back. And you also have these little, there's 2 screws here. Now, to pull the bridge back in where I needed it, to have it sitting, parallel to the body, I turned in this screw here, and it pulled out of the fucking body of the guitar. So obviously someone's fucked up with a drill somewhere, and the hole's too big, and it shot out of the body. So that was the first issue I had with this guitar. Took it to a shop where I've known them for years, and they fixed it up for me. I had the guitar back in 2 days. It cost me $40. So that was that, and that was only after having the guitar for about half an hour. Now I've turned the guitar back over. The next thing that fucked up were these, the saddles. Kind of got the impression that these little screws here, I think someone's cross-threaded them. Because what would happen, particularly with the high E saddle, when you're using the... Sorry, I've got a new camera and I'm trying to use that too. When you would loosen off the high E string, it would actually just go completely slack and nothing would happen. But you could grab from back here, yank it up, and it would sort of come unwedged, and you could start tuning it again. So basically what was happening, the tail end of this saddle was bumping into this one, and this happened quite a fair bit. So I took it back to the shop where I bought it from, and replaced all of the saddles. So that was all the issues there. Now, like I said, for a guitar that's $2,000 and claims to be the world's finest guitars, nah. I also, kind of stupidly, I bought a guitar, the Dean Dymaflame, which is basically the same guitar as this. I think it was I've sold that guitar since, I think it was the 5th fret on the high E side. Wasn't seated in properly, so the high E string was forever getting caught. And where we go, we zoom. It was just, come back. When it would roll off the fretboard, would get stuck under the fret and become wedged. So that was another issue. Now, as far as that little sort of plug, I don't use tone controls, so having a tone control on here was kind of useless. There's my Autopsy album, Acts of the Unspeakable. Now, there's been a few little things with this guitar. I'm just going to flip it over again. Okay, now have a look at the routing. This side is straight. This side is fucked up. Now if you look, hang on, go that way. That is the bottom of the post, which keeps the bloody Floyd Rose sitting in. That's not freaking good. Now if we go, I just discovered this a few minutes ago, where is it? Go this side, another hole. So that's the bottom of the post sticking through. And that's another thing to do with the Floyd Rose. So it's just been routed like fucking shit. Now look, routing's routing, I mean, I'm not going to freak out about it, but when I've got holes coming out of the fucking guitar, that can't be good either. Now, anyone who doesn't know, the foam's under there just for stop the springs from ringing out. It sounds like you've got a reverb tank in there. That's why the foam's in there. Damasio strap locks. I mean, the back of it was always like my favourite thing, just like this great big slab of mahogany. There's my new camera. But hang on, flip it over again. Go back. Okay. Now this was my main guitar for, geez, quite a few years. But in retrospect, for $2,000, you could buy a really nice ESP guitar, probably a really nice Jackson, and probably a nice Basie Rich. But like, and this came with a case also. The problem with the case, it's a big fucking square. It's a big rectangular case, and it's not balanced. So what I mean by balanced is, well, it's not balanced. The handle isn't put in the right position on the case. So you pick up the case, and like the case just sort of falls forward. On one of my other Dean guitars, the handle actually came out of the freaking case because it wasn't balanced properly. Now when your case is balanced properly, it's actually a lot easier to pick up and a lot easier to sort of maneuver around. The one thing I will say about this particular Dean, it does all the flutter sort of stuff pretty well for a licensed Floyd Rose. I might make a video a little later. That's the dime bucket pickup, and these are actually being wired out of phase to get some nice little funky sounds when the toggle switch is in the middle position. You got like what, the mother of pearl. Fretton's a nice one. These two are nice. Now, you know, I don't think the frets were leveled very well because they weren't very good, and I don't think there were too many other dramas with this. But for $2,000, I mean, fucking hell, this could have been a lot nicer. And the frets are probably not as big as you'd want to think. Like, you look at that, and if you ever played an ESP guitar or something, they're huge. So these frets aren't that big, so you do tend to sit on the wood a lot, which is kind of here and all there for each individual player. Now another thing, now this is just personal preference also, the depth of the neck is like a friggin' baseball bat. So, personal preference, like I said. But, like I said, for a company that claims to be the world's finest guitars, I don't think so. Anyway, that's my bitching and moaning for the day. I might make a video as well, just some sound demos. Okay? Alright, so, done.